Hey my friends, welcome back to another video or another episode, depending on where you are tuning in from. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sydney. I'm a certified spiritual life coach, a certified mindset coach, really passionate about all things personal growth, spirituality, being the best version of yourself, living your dream life, running an intuitive online business that you're obsessed with, all of those topics. So if those are things that you are interested in, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another video or episode. Today, as you can see, it's kind of chaotic energy. I'm still in my pajamas. This pajama set, I feel like it kind of counts as like a comfy set, but I'm not feeling my best today, I'll be honest. There's just been, I don't know, like physically not feeling my best, mentally not feeling my best, just like really tired. I'm gonna get my period next week. So I'm just like kind of in that mode. But I just wanted to still make sure that I recorded this because I think it's kind of fitting with this video. So in today's video or episode, we're going to talk a little bit about like my own self-discovery journey because I feel like I've been going through a bit of like a transformation lately with that. And I want to share with you guys like what not only how I'm feeling, but also like some exercises that I've been using to kind of get myself out of this slump. And share a little bit more with you guys about this solo retreat that I'm taking at the end of December, and like why I'm going and what I'm gonna do and all of that fun stuff. So get comfy, I would normally have a coffee with me, but like I said, I haven't been feeling my best and I feel like coffee would just make it worse. But yeah, get comfy and we're gonna just jump right on into it. So first of all, like I said, I've been feeling a little off lately. Aside from this week feeling obviously tired and a little bit more run down than usual just because of like my cycle. I feel like I've just been feeling a little lost and a little overwhelmed and a little more stressed out than usual. If you guys are new here, I'm somebody who also struggles a lot with anxiety. So like that's not an abnormal thing for me, but like I feel like it's been really peaking lately. And I almost just feel like I just don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like I just feel like that's a very normal thing in your 20s to be like, what the hell's happening? Like what's going on? And yeah, like that's really just how I've been feeling. Like now that I'm stepping back into really going all in with the business again and really committing to that, instead of being scared or being nervous or being afraid, it's like feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And I feel like I'm in a place right now where almost like my own journey has been preparing me for this next chapter of my business. Like, I don't know, like these things that I'm, they say you grow through what you go through. Like, I feel like these things that I've been just like realizing and these lessons that I've been learning about like truly the importance of self-care and the importance of doing what makes you happy instead of doing what everybody else wants you to do or what's expected of you. Like, it's so important to remember these things. And I feel like the biggest lessons that I've been learning lately is it's okay to take time for yourself. It's necessary for you to take time for yourself. Meaning like on a daily basis, like with a morning and a night routine, but also like with this solo retreat that I'm planning for myself. Like like if we don't take care of ourselves, no one else can take care of us to that same ability. And it's really no one else's responsibility to do that either. So I think it's just like remembering for me, like it's okay to slow down. I don't know if I've shared this in a video yet, but I had COVID back at the beginning of October. Like a very mild case, thankfully, but it was, obviously I was quarantined, I was home, I wasn't really around anybody. And it was surprisingly really nice to just like chill and take a break and like take a step back from my usual busy life. And I think it really shed some light for me on like the fact that I don't enjoy being busy 24/7, even though that's like how we're conditioned to show up. And like, I don't know. So kind of merging back from like coming out of quarantine and going back to like my quote unquote normal life has been a little tricky because it's like, it feels so good to just like have so much space in your life. And obviously like some things we can't control, a lot of things in life we can't control. But I do think we have a lot of control over our schedules and like what we choose to do. So yeah, I don't know. I've been going through a little bit of reflection, and I'm still not even sure what that's going to look like moving forward. But yeah, that's kind of one of the things that have been coming up. And I feel like other life lessons in general that I've been like really moving through is like, we don't have to be like at a certain place by a certain timeline. Like for the longest time I was like, oh my God, by the time I'm like in my mid-20s, I'm going to be engaged and I'm going to be moved out and I'm going to be married and like all this stuff. And like, that's just not what life looks like for me right now. Like I'm still living at home with my parents. And I think for a long time I told myself that that was a bad thing because like, you know, that means you're not independent and like you're not living your own life and blah, blah, blah. But like, to be 100% honest, like there are a lot of benefits of it, obviously, like being with everybody, being with my family, my brother's still at home as well. Like that part is like something that we're never going to get back, you know? And I just feel like, I don't know, like we're saving so much money. Like my goals are just not what I thought they were going to be at this age. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper into like, just like some different exercises and journal prompts that might be helpful for you. I'm going to like talk out my answers in this video, just to kind of help myself go deeper, but also to share a little bit more of like the insights with you guys. But yeah, like there are just a lot of things like that I thought I would be doing at my age, and like, it's not what it was, but it's really been recognizing that we don't have to like keep up with the Joneses to be happy with like life. You know what I mean? And it's like finding what makes you feel happy and what makes you feel fulfilled and what makes you feel your best, instead of doing what everyone else is doing or doing what's expected of you. Because like, I think the more that we try to keep up with that, it's like, I don't know, we're like moving in the wrong direction, right? So anyway, that's just how I've been feeling. Those are some things that I've been moving through. And if you feel like you're in a similar boat right now, or if you're moving through something maybe that's completely different, like just know that you're not alone. And I always say like my DMs are always open if you guys need to chat. Like I'm always just a message away if you just need someone to listen. Cause yeah, it can be hard. So yeah, and I've definitely not been feeling my best lately. So I'm like, you know what, what's more perfect than like showing up in my pajamas, just like a really raw and real like update about how things have been, because like they haven't been the best, and like I'm not gonna lie and say that they have been. You know, there's been a lot of just not feeling great. But anyway, we're getting back on track, and I think it's also important too to recognize that like the good and the bad in life, like neither one is more important than the other. Like that's like the whole point of living this human experience, is to like experience both. But I do think that when we're feeling like we're in a rut, and when we feel like we're ready to start taking the steps to move into a place that feels better, I think it is important to know like what resources to lean on to make you feel your best, or what questions to ask yourself to help get you moving in the right direction. So I've pulled up some different, actually quite a few different journal prompts and exercises that I'm going to be sharing with you guys throughout this video, that again, in the past have helped me to get really clear on what makes me feel my best and like what I want in life. So feel free to use these for yourself as well. I'll type them out in the description box so that you guys can just screenshot it and take it with you. But the first question, so diving right into this portion, the first question with this is, what is your biggest dream? Like when you think about your absolute dream life, like what is the thing that you're like, wow, if I could achieve that, or if I could experience that, or if I could, you know, whatever that thing looks like, what is your biggest dream? And I think for me, I think my biggest dream is like two things. It's being, you know, running this business in a way that feels aligned with me. Like I feel like I've definitely been doing things in a more aligned fashion, and in a way that's more suitable for me in my life than I have before. Like over the last, I would say like couple months or so. And I just feel like, you know, being able to run my business in a way that feels really good, but more importantly, consistently working with clients and helping people, you know, love themselves and forgive themselves and overcome the limiting beliefs that are holding them back, and really help them to start telling a better story in their mind. I think our mindset is so important. but also helping them get clear on what they desire and help them not only with the spiritual aspect of like manifesting that into your life and embodying that version of you, but helping them create a very tangible action plan of like, these are the steps that I'm going to take to move me forward, and being able to be that person for my clients to come to and to talk about how they're feeling and to talk about their week and to really just show up authentically as they are and to, you know, discuss, yes, their biggest dreams, yes, their biggest goals, and really hold them accountable with that, but also being able to be that person that they feel safe with, I think is really such a beneficial part of coaching. So I think from the career side, that's really my biggest dream, is just consistently working with people to start taking better care of themselves, mind, body, and soul. And again, overcoming those belief systems that are keeping them where they are and helping them get clear on the vision of what they want moving forward and what it's going to take to get them there in a way that feels good for them, right? So, you know, that's through things like my membership, my one-on-one coaching, my group coaching, my courses, any offers that I, you know, decide to create moving forward. That's just kind of my overall mission, is integrating that into all of the work that I do. And I think in terms of another part of that, so like not only running the business and, you know, and also like being able to bring on employees for my business and have an assistant and like make this something that's bigger than myself, I think is a really big vision for me as well. But I think another portion of that is, you know, with my business, being able to work from wherever I am in the world. That also opens up a lot of freedom for me to travel 4 times a year or more to places that I love. That's always been like kind of my goal, is like to go somewhere once a quarter. So I think for me, that's kind of my biggest dream at the moment. And that's what I'm working towards right now. So that's a question to ask yourself. The next question that I have is like, what are 5 things that you do really well? Like, what are you really good at? And I think being able to look at your strengths and look at what you are naturally good at is really helpful, even in terms of like discovering what your life's purpose is. Because I think when you can get clear on like, oh, I'm really good at, you know, holding space for people, or I'm really good at, maybe it's something more practical. It's important to recognize that, because then again, like when we're doing something that we're good at and that we love, that is what I think is truly living our life's purpose, right? So again, for me, 5 things that I feel like I do really well. I think I'm really great at organization. I think that I'm really great at making my people feel seen and heard and loved, like not only with, like more so in my personal life. I'm really good at taking care of myself. Usually, obviously, there are times when I'm not going to feel my best, and that's okay. I'm really good at I'm really good at helping people with what is your vision? What do you desire? Like help, really being that support person, that cheerleader, and really like reminding people that like they can do anything. You can do anything that you guys want in this world. Like you are 100% worthy and deserving of anything that you desire in this lifetime. So I think the fact that I'm encouraging is a strength. And I also think, again, my ability to hold space for people and to really empathize with people is really a strength as well. So again, taking stock of what are 5 things that you feel like you do really well. And then the next question too, and I think these kind of both go hand in hand, especially if you start thinking about, you know, more of like a career thing. Like if you're in a place right now where maybe you want to start a business, or maybe you want to switch your career because you're not feeling fulfilled, taking into consideration your answers for what is it that you do really well. And then this next question, which is, what are 5 things that make you really happy, that bring you joy? Because again, if you can merge the two, doing something that makes you happy and doing something that you're good at, like that's like, I think the key to success when it comes to your work life, right? So again, for me, 5 things that make me really happy. Again, traveling, which is why I want that to be a part of my business, and, you know, making that kind of like a goal or like a reward for myself. Like I've always had this vision of, after I launch something, then I take a trip to celebrate it, you know? So travel has always made me really happy. Learning new things has always made me really happy, like especially in like the personal growth realm. Being surrounded by like like-minded and encouraging people has always made me really happy. Self-care makes me really happy, as cheesy as that sounds. And like taking care of my physical body through things like yoga and working out and meditation, that also makes me really happy. I think, was that 4 or 5? We'll throw an extra one in there. And again, as cheesy as this might sound, I think going and working at coffee shops and being in like a really cozy vibe for work and like working alone makes me really happy. So again, taking note of what are the things that make you really happy, what are the things that you're really good at, and how could you maybe pair that together to make it your perfect career path, you know? And that's kind of what I've been doing in my own life. Like, again, I love being there for people. I love helping people become a better version of themselves. I love doing that for myself as well. I work in solitude with my business. I'm starting to incorporate more travel into kind of my business structure as a way to celebrate like what I'm doing. And yeah, I feel like I would love to offer some type of like self-care offering or something around wellness again, because that was something that I did previously. Like that's how I started my business. If you guys are new here, I started off as a Beachbody coach. And as much as I do not enjoy that culture, I really loved that sense of community, and I loved that sense of, you know, everybody coming together to work on their own like wellness goals, mind, body, and soul, like the personal growth and the workouts and the intuitive eating. Like it was just such a beautiful community. So maybe something like that will be coming back in the near future. Like, let me know if that would be something you guys would be interested in the comments below. But yeah, that's my third prompt that I really enjoy. And then the next one is, what's your dream job? Like when you think about if you could do anything for work, like what does your dream job look like? Again, for me, it's content creation, it's being a coach, it's creating courses, and it's, again, really about teaching people how to take care of themselves, reminding people of their value, of their worth, helping people step into a beautiful, positive mindset more times than not. And it's helping people, again, to get clear on what their dream life looks like, to remember that anything and everything is possible in this world. We just have to choose it for ourselves, and really holding them accountable for, you know, the action that they're taking to get them there, and really being that cheerleader for people. Because again, I feel like when you, at least for me, like when I started this business, I didn't have really anybody in my day-to-day personal life that I felt like I could go to for support. Like in a way that a coach would, you know what I mean? Or that a community would. And that's when I started like investing in business coaches and, you know, different things that could support me on my journey. That's how I want to be for other people, because again, I feel like that's the beauty of the internet, and that's the beauty of this whole world of, again, the coaches and the personal growth and the self-discovery and the self-love and those people who are out there spreading this message. Like, I remember I used to think, you know, I used to be like, oh my God, there's so many people who are doing what I want to do. Like, that just means that there's not enough space for me in the market. And who am I to do this? Like, those were definitely thoughts that I had. And now that I'm on the other side and I'm a little bit more established, like, I recognize that not every coach is going to resonate with every single person out there. So there are so many people doing something similar to me with, you know, helping people with self-love and mindset and living their dream life, but we all do it in our own ways, and we all have our own energy, and our ideal clients are all attracted to us for those reasons. So I think it's just important to remember that, like, this is still like an emerging, like, career path. You know what I mean? Like, it's this, I feel like all of this work of knowing yourself and personal growth and self-discovery and loving yourself and taking care of yourself and finding that empowerment to do things the way that you want to do them, it's all still kind of a new topic. So again, I think for me, it's remembering, like, if I can just, even if someone stumbles across this video or my other YouTube videos or my podcast or an Instagram post that I put out or whatever content that I'm creating, if I could just make one person feel, you know, that they're worthy of taking care of themselves, that they're worthy of feeling good, that they're worthy of having what they want, if I can help just one person with that, like, that means the absolute world to me. Because again, I remember being in that space where I wasn't living a life that I loved. I wasn't happy. I did not feel good in my skin. I was not taking care of myself. And my heart goes out to that version of me. And again, that's why I do the work that I do now. Because I always say, you know, they always say you should aim to be the person that you needed when you were younger. And this is who I needed, you know? So anywho, getting clear on what your dream job is, I'm going to kind of get off my soapbox. But okay, next prompt, which I really enjoy. It's very open-ended, but choose your dream life and describe it in detail. So again, my absolute dream life would be, again, running my business, working with one-on-one clients, having group coaching programs, offering new courses, having my membership, growing this community on YouTube and the podcast and on Instagram. And again, spreading the message of loving yourself, taking care of yourself, being good to yourself, you know, changing your mindset, manifestation, getting clear on what you want, knowing who you are, like the self-discovery, the personal growth, becoming the best version of yourself. Like career-wise, that's what I see for myself. Being able to work from wherever I want, traveling 4 times a year, living in a beautiful townhouse or condo with my boyfriend now, future husband in the future, you know, and you know, him and I both doing what we love for work and having our own businesses and doing what absolutely lights us up and sharing our gifts with the world. And again, traveling, like I said, 4 times a year, like spending like months at a time down at the beach when it's winter here in Ohio. Because as much as I thought I wanted to live at the beach full time, I think that's changed a lot now that I like really love the seasons. But when it gets colder here, I definitely love being somewhere warm. And yeah, really just continuing to take care of myself, continuing my wellness journey, continuing my own personal growth journey, continuing, you know, reading the books, taking the courses, journaling, meditating, like just continuing to become the best version of myself. Like that's my dream life, doing what I love for work, traveling and taking good care of myself and like living a slow-paced lifestyle. So yeah, so that's what my dream life looks like. So again, that's just another prompt to kind of get you thinking. The next one is, if you could change anything about your life, what would it be and why? And I think for me, if I could change anything in my life, it'd be more of my own internal thing. I don't think I would really want to change anything in my external reality, but I feel like I would want to just be able to like click my fingers and heal all of my limiting beliefs in my mind so that they don't hold me back from going for what I really want, specifically when it comes to the business. Because I always say like the business journey is such an ongoing personal growth boot camp in a way of like, there's just more layers that you come up on and you're like, I didn't even realize I was struggling with this and now it's something that needs healing. So yeah, I would just say like really just being able to feel calm on a daily basis, like naturally without having to do anything because my anxiety can be through the roof. And again, thinking positively on autopilot instead of letting my thoughts get the best of me. Okay, next one is, let's see, we're gonna skip over that one. Next question, okay. What sets your soul on fire? What do you feel most passionate about and why? And again, I think what sets my soul most on fire is the fact that we live in an unlimited, abundant universe where literally anything is possible for you. And if you have a desire in your heart, it's for a reason. And it's because your soul is the one that's meant to bring that to life in this reality. Not to get deep, but if you know me, this is how I am. So I think that concept of like really how unlimited potential we have is something that really, again, burns and it's like a fire in my soul. And again, I think I'm most passionate about taking care of yourself, mind, body, and soul, remembering your power. Obviously the people in my life I'm very passionate about, and I don't know, I just think I'm very passionate about this whole message that I'm spreading through this business, which I've rambled on about so much in this specific episode. But I'm passionate about getting that message out into the world so that more and more people can start feeling better and living a life that they love and just not have to struggle anymore. Like, that's really what I feel most passionate about. Okay, next one is, what are your top 5 accomplishments? So this goes back to, I think, like, what are you good at? That question that I asked. But I think being able to, again, like, really recognize what you've achieved so far, how well you've done so far, especially when our autopilot is normally like, well, you screwed this up or you didn't do this right. Like, it can be really, I don't know, like, really horrible to live that way when you're, again, that's the mindset thing. So I think focusing on what you're, like, really focusing on what you've done well is a strength as well. So again, for me, top 5 accomplishments, I think, first of all, like, and we'll kind of go through the progression. So I think my first biggest accomplishment was starting my volleyball coaching business while I was in college. That's what I did throughout nursing school. Everyone told me to become a nursing assistant. I was like, I love what I'm doing with volleyball. I just have that entrepreneurial spirit. So I was like, I'm just going to do this. So I think that's number 1. Number 2 would probably be, obviously, going to nursing school, graduating with my degree, becoming an RN. Number 3 would probably be, obviously, starting my business while I was in college. These are all very career oriented. Starting my career while I was or my business while I was in college, becoming a wellness coach, and, like, really starting something that has become my full-time job. I don't know, that was a huge thing. 4 would probably be trusting my gut when it came to my nursing career and becoming a labor and delivery nurse and leaving my new grad job, even though I was only like 6 months in, not even at the time. And everyone's like, you have to wait for your full year and, like, you're crazy, just give it time. But, like, I just trusted my intuition, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And lastly, I think my biggest accomplishment is, again, just my ability to trust my intuition and, like, being able to, even though what I'm doing right now in my life as a 23-year-old woman living in Ohio, like, I think being able to go against the grain of, like, what's expected of me, especially in the healthcare field, and people are like, well, why aren't you going to become an NP or a midwife or whatever? And really, again, knowing what my end, like, big picture vision for my life looks like with the business, and really prioritizing that right now instead of doing what's expected of me, or what people think I should do. Like, that's been a really big accomplishment because it has not been easy. So it's hard going, and doing things differently than you've seen it done, or than people think you should do it. But I think it's really important to commit to that version of you, who already is living the dream life that you're living, and acting as that version of you now, because that's the quickest way you can get from where you are right now to where you want to be. Okay, next is, what are your biggest priorities in life? I'm just going to name a few. This says to make a list of your top 10. I'm just going to name, like, rattle some off, but if you're doing this in a journal, you could write down your top 10. I think my top priorities in life are taking care of myself, again, mind, body, and soul. Obviously, my friends and my family and my boyfriend, my beautiful business, and doing what I love with that. Honestly, that and traveling. Those are, like, my absolute top biggest ones. Okay, next one is, what are 5 things that you love most about yourself? And I think this is something that even as I'm reading it, I'm like, I feel some resistance around, like, sharing this on the internet. But again, I think it's important to, like, normalize, like, loving yourself instead of beating yourself up over the things that aren't, like, so good, right? So top 5 things that I love most about myself is, again, my my courage in doing what I love and following my soul, my confidence when it feels the best. I love that, you know, taking care of myself has become my priority, and I love that I share that message with the world. I love how like nurturing and caring I am as a person. I'm very like mothering, if you know me in real life, or if you've been a client, or if you've been here forever. I'm definitely a very mothering personality. And then I would say lastly, I love that I'm a big dreamer, and that that I've trusted myself so far on this journey, especially with this business and like with everything personal growth related. Like, I would not be here right now if it weren't for me trusting myself even 3 years ago when I started the business. So that's probably what I would say for that one. So then next, there's a few more. Next is, what do you feel like you need more of in your life? And again, I think for me, I feel like the biggest thing right now is I need more space and I need more relaxation. Those are probably the two that I would say. And then lastly, what are your top 5 goals for the next 12 months? So for the next year, depending on when you're watching or listening to this, I think for me at the time that I'm recording this, my top 5 goals for the next 12 months, so that's going to take us into December of 2022, I would say to be making probably like to be replacing my nursing salary with my business. So we could say like to make $3,000 a month from my business is a really big goal, like minimum. I would say to continue my wellness journey, specifically eating intuitively, moving my body for 30 minutes a day, following this workout program that I've been doing. If you guys need like at-home workouts, Heather Robertson here on YouTube is a fantastic, like I cannot recommend her enough. Her stuff is absolutely amazing, and I'm going through, she has a completely free 12-week workout program all on YouTube. Like, it's amazing. I just finished week 3 today. So that's my second goal, is to prioritize my wellness. My third goal is to start taking more solo trips, is what I'll say for that one. And we'll talk about the solo retreat that I'm doing in a minute. My fourth one, is to, for my business specifically, is to launch one new offer every single quarter. So there's something really exciting in store coming up between now and the end of the year. So just keep your eyes peeled, because I have something really exciting coming to you. And then lastly, my top 5 goals for the next 12 months. So wellness, my income in my business, traveling, launching, and lastly, I would probably just say like just trusting my intuition and just like following my gut on things. So again, I will leave all of those prompts in the description below so you guys can just screenshot it and do those on your own. Let us know in the comments how that goes for you. If you had any like aha moments, let us know. And then the last part that I just wanted to briefly touch on is, like I said in the very beginning of this, I really felt refreshed after being in my quarantine, and being really in my own energy for a full 7 days. And it almost inspired me to start doing my own like solo retreats frequently. I've never done something like this outside of my house. And I've always been like, well, what are people going to think about me if I go somewhere by myself? And I know it's more normal than I think it is, but I'm still like, my mindset gets the best of me. But I made a decision that I'm going to take a solo trip in December. And again, I want to do it just to go and kind of reset myself and reset my energy, reset, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and just like to be able to go and do what I want by myself for a full 4 days. Like, that's really the goal. So I was going to go to the beach. I was going to go to Florida in December, but I actually decided, you know what, for my first time doing something like this, I'm just going to go somewhere local. So I'm just going to somewhere that's like only a few hours from me. I rented an Airbnb from Wednesday to Saturday, and I'm just going to go down and literally do whatever I want. So I'm going to bring my favorite snacks, my favorite drinks, my coffee. I'll probably bring my stuff to work just if I feel like I want to, but not going and doing it out of obligation. But yeah, like I rented a cute Airbnb and I'm just so excited to like have long morning routines and like do yoga and meditate and do a lot of journaling and do a lot of reading and like just be with myself. Like I think there's something so beautiful about that, and I think it's something that we don't do enough as a society, and I just like, oh, I cannot freaking wait. So that's really the extent of this. I would love to hear, again, if you want me to do like a little bit of like a vlog style thing of the retreat, let me know in the comments and we'll see if that's something you guys are even interested in. I've never done like a vlog style thing, but I'm like, maybe we could just do it. I think it might be fun, especially for anybody else who's been thinking about doing something like this, but you're like not really sure what to do. That could be inspiration, but yeah, basically that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching or listening. If you have not already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up on YouTube if you enjoyed it. And if you're over on the podcast, be sure to give this podcast a 5-star rating and review over on iTunes, because it does help out with the podcast and growing and getting this out to more people. Be sure you're subscribed on both platforms so you don't miss out on another video or another episode. And again, it helps with the growth, so I appreciate it more than you know. And yeah, as always, leave any content that you want to see below in the description box, okay? Or in the comments, rather. All right, I love you guys. I'm gonna go rest. Like, again, that's the intention that I'm setting. But I hope that, again, if you're someone right now who's maybe not feeling your best, I hope that this made you feel a little bit less alone. And yeah, just know that everything's going to be okay and you're exactly where you need to be right now. So just let yourself be where you are, meet yourself where you are, and really listen to what you need right now. So, okay. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.